Your time in NXT.
Yes.
Once you'd retired as being a wrestler, your time in NXT, what was the highlight? Or what was your favourite part of the whole experience?
My favourite part of the whole, there's two really. There was the first time NXT went to the Empress Ballroom in Blackpool. And if anybody was there, they'll know why. Because of the atmosphere were you there that night? There's nothing ever like that, ever. Anywhere. I've never seen anything like it or felt it. You could feel it going through your bones, couldn't you? Like the chanting and everything. And I didn't have to wrestle, so I just got to, everything was set when I got there, so I just got to stand back and watch the show, but like from the sides. And then the UK tournament, the first UK tournament, because I was just, the story of that is a month before I was in Australia, and I get a call right as the show's finishing, 10 o'clock at night. Can you cut the tour short and be in London in 2 days? We're going to announce a UK, and you were there, right? Went for that thing. Announce a UK tournament. All right. And it's going to be in Blackpool. What? Okay. And I stood outside from that second onwards, called, I think, about 26 people, and I managed to get 24. And they all, was it 20? You may know better than me here. 2 days later, I landed in England. I had to fly from Australia to England. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. But I was somewhere out the way in Australia, so I had to get a flight to somewhere and then fly to London. Landed, got to the O2, came out, and just everybody was there, and everybody suited and booted and looking like real professionals. And it was like, wow, that was incredible, and thanks to all the people that were part of that they turned up in that shorter notice, and not only turned up, but turned up looking the way they did, and like representing British wrestling, which meant a lot to me. And then we did the show a month later, but that's like a millimetre above every other thing I ever did there, because it was just one thing after another. It was like, how have we got here? And I don't think people really take in what we accomplished with that place. Up until it went on live TV in 2019, we were selling out arenas from an hour show off the network. An hour show off the network. And we were going on international tours and European tours and going to download every year off the network. And there's never been a company in history who have done 36 universally liked shows there was not one thing I don't think was ever knocked. Is that right? Might be. You'll know better than me. I just used to hear.
Yeah, takeovers were always known as the best.
But it became, unfortunately to everybody, it became the norm. And I don't think none of us have had time to realise how special that was. Because when you find me another company in history who's done 36 straight shows, never. That have been not one thing anybody's knocked on it. And nobody will ever top that. Nobody will ever top that. It's impossible. It'd be impossible to. Somehow we've managed to pull all that off with the smallest group possible. I was part of talent development. It was 4 people. It was the most underfunded part of WWE, was to get all the wrestlers that everybody wanted, work on NXT, go and do all these scouting things, do everything, and put the Cruiserweight Classic together. I managed to get everybody for that in 3 days. And if you go back and look at that, I don't know who else could have, and I'm not just saying it's because of me, but it's because I knew a lot of people, and a lot of goodwill had gone out to a lot of people over the years, that I could get all these people from all these different companies and get them under WWE's banner. And we pulled that off in 3 days. And that, right? And that was an absolute pleasure. And then look back at the Mae Young Classic. pulled that off. And then the second one I gave over to Sarah and Serena Deeb, and I just helped them. I said, no, you should be doing this, not me. You know, that this is for you. And so I helped them. But then the UK stuff, and then starting the UK stuff, which, again, whatever anybody wants to think, and you hear all this silly nonsense where you took all our independent stars. Oh, I apologise if you don't want your favourite wrestler to make some more money and have a stable check every week. I'm really sorry that you... Or not have to worry about that check, or when they get injured, they actually get paid and get looked after. I'm sorry if that bothers you. But that's the progression of wrestling. There was already a lot of British wrestlers were going other places. It was already happening. It was going to happen, right? And if WWE's deciding to go in there, well, luckily they had me to make sure it was as nice as it could be. And Triple H, because he's just as important in that, of a different mindset of the way he does stuff, of being, let's make this as nice as possible for everybody involved, and not the way it used to be. And that's what you probably hear. I don't know if that's going to be, I would hope that's going to be the way it's going to keep going. And that needs to be the way it is. We personally set out, the two of us, to make wrestling a less... you know the term carny business, because I never was I'm the only carny wrestler left. I started wrestling on a carnival, but I've never acted like one. I don't understand that mentality, and a lot of people in wrestling still act like that, and it's just, I don't get it. Again, from the people who, Johnny Saint and Pete Roberts, and not Dave, because Dave's mad as a box of frogs, but Terry Rudge and Pete Roberts and Johnny Saint and people like him and Steve Gray and incredible British wrestlers who went, you know, you didn't have to be told not to act like them. If you've got half a brain and you see the way they act, I want to be one of them. If I do get asked what I do for a living, I want to be able to hold my head up and say, proudly, I'm a professional wrestler, not go, oh. Because I always do that. We talked about me saying I'm a bank robber before, yeah. Because a lot of times you would get hit with, oh, I am in the only profession in the world where people who've never met you before think it's okay to insult the way that you feed your family by. You've never, any other profession in the world, would any of you go up to somebody and go, that's a load of bollocks what you do, isn't it? But people think, and it's been like that since I was a teenager, people think it's okay. They used to say, oh, that wrestling's fixed. And I used to get mad. Like, what do you, oh, so I'm here with a black eye. I'm 16 and I'm living in a little room in Blackpool. I'm getting hammered twice a day and crying most nights because that's how I was bleeding out of most holes in my body. And that's no joke to get into this. And I'm having to do all this training and you just want to insult the way I work. There's not another profession alive that anybody would do that to, but they think it's okay to do to wrestlers. So I've always, no, it was like NXT was a thing. Same as New Japan. It was a lot of it was based off my time in New Japan. No, you can proudly wear your NXT thing and say, no, I'm a professional athlete and I train 5 days a week or more and I work hard and no, I can hold my head up. And that's what it was. And that's what it hopefully stays or becomes again, right?